How are we? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Deadline stream. It is game week 26, the first double game week of the season. Thank you all very much for joining. We will talk about everything that we need to. Everything that you're asking already in the chat. It's all the questions that we're going to discuss are already in there. We'll discuss it all. The triple captain is active on the moment, but I'm not ruling out that I deactivate it. I feel like I've just been playing around with it, and we'll talk about all of that. But before we do, let's get into all the good stuff, all the usual stuff that we do during the stream. So if you want to say hello in the chat, if you want to say good afternoon, good evening, and we will say hello back to as many of you as we can. So hello to Saksham, hello to Lee Now Man, hello to Callum, hello to Jordan, hello to Adrian, Pete, Bobby, DUJ, hello to Marriott Tabet, hello to Jordan, and all the members, Fabro, all the members and moderators in this afternoon, this evening. Thank you all very much, especially for your support, and to everyone else. Andy B, hello to FPL Danish friends, Ozspike, hello to IMK, Cowing, Richard, Asim, Devrung, Scott, X Matson, Doom, Full, Dave, Nick, the Adamium, Jules FPL, Alistair, Mesh, Man, TGW, 1962, Sonic, Criddy, Neil, Man, Mesh, Alistair, Harvey, Formula, Leonardo, Matty, P. Polk, Ludwig, and Thomas Gibbs. And to all of you who I didn't say hello to, and anyone just lurking and watching the stream and not typing in the chat, hello to all of you as well. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. The triple captain has been activated for now. And I know you'll say, Harry, you already know what you're going to do. I really don't. And here is why I feel so uncertain about whether I'm going to play the triple captaincy or not this week. Oh, sorry. My captaincy ranking in the top right is as of last week. It doesn't seem to have saved. Let me just update that. Gabriel, number 1. Timber, number 2. Rice, number 3. Yokerez. And there we go. So the reason that I am uncertain about whether I should triple captain is based on the probability of a second double, or a double outside of game week 33. So here's my thinking, right? Game week 33 is going to be the big double of the season, where you're either going to have your bench boost or most likely your free hit chip played in that week. So we're looking for, really, when I say another double, I mean another double outside of game week 33. So in order for that to happen, there are a few things that could cause it. Manchester City have to get quite far in the Champions League, probably to the semi-finals. And in order for that to happen, they have to beat either Inter Milan or Real Madrid, most likely in the round of 16, and then most likely Arsenal or Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals, in order to reach the semi-finals. They've also got to reach the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Now, that is likely to happen, but if they get drawn in one of the next rounds against someone else, like let's say they get an away tie against Arsenal, or they get an away tie against Liverpool, United, Chelsea, and then suddenly it's less likely to happen, right? There is also a possibility that there is another double that's not Man City. It could be Crystal Palace, it could be Liverpool, it could be Aston Villa. But if any of those three teams double, Do I think that any of their players are a better triple captaincy option? Oh, sorry, United are not in the FA Cup. Okay, fine. But do I think that there's any player in any of these teams? Crystal Palace, I'd rather triple captain Gabriel. Aston Villa, like, yes, you could triple captain Rodgers, but I think I'd rather triple captain Gabriel now. Liverpool. Now, if Liverpool doubled, could they be a better option? Potentially. But it would be, again, it would have a Palace fixture involved in it. And is that better than Gabriel going for someone like an Ekitike or someone like a Vert? Like, potentially, it's slightly better, but it's not the be-all and end-all for it. So I think the only double that I would hold it for, that I'd really want, is a Haaland double game week. So that's what's weighing up in my mind. There are, as Jack says, there are so many ifs and buts about deciding on this decision, which is why I have put it on Gabriel. My issue with it is I do think Brentford score. Now, I might be wrong, but I do think that Brentford score against Arsenal on Thursday. Now, it's not guaranteed, of course, but I just think Brentford at home have been very good. I do think that they score against Arsenal. So if I think that they score against Arsenal, then is it really that high an upside in order to do it? And I know that people will say, well, you know, he could score, he could get an assist, but statistically, that is still pretty unlikely, right? If you're triple captaining Gabriel because you think he's going to score a goal in the next 2 games, you are backing something that is statistically unlikely to happen. Now, he's more likely to score in a double than he is in a single, and he's more likely to score in a double than maybe someone else, like a Richards or most other centre-backs, right? But he is still, at the end of the day, a defender, so predicting him to score is less likely than, you know, an outfield or an attacker in order to score. So that's basically where I'm at. If I think that he doesn't get a clean sheet against Brentford, he's got to get a clean sheet against Wolves, which is more likely than not. I agree. But he's also got to do something else on top of just a clean sheet against Wolves for it really to be worthwhile. So that's a attack in return. It's DEFCON. It's a bonus point. It's a clean sheet away at Brentford. Like, all of these things are not that likely for it to happen. So that's why I am uncertain. I don't think it's the high upside triple captain that people think it is. I think it's a pretty low ceiling, high floor triple captain. Like, I would fully expect Gabriel to return somewhere between 8 and 10 points. I think it's somewhere in between those. And if it's somewhere in between those, like, you can get that from, we hope to get those returns from, you know, a single game week triple captain, basically. So I don't think it's that exciting, and I don't think it's that appealing, but the lack of uncertainty for something else later on in the season is leading me in order to do it. Now, I don't know whether the fact that I'm also benching Timber should have an impact on that, because if I'm mentioning Thiago, because I am effectively saying that I don't think Thiago is going to score compared to some of my other players. But then I could also look at it, well, if Thiago blanks and the triple captainers get the return, then at least I've benched Thiago, who's still pretty highly owned, and I've got away with that one. And if Thiago scores on my bench, it then means that the triple captain was probably not the right idea. It's just the sort of fairy tale that he might score. The Gabriel, you might get that notification on your timeline, and you just see Gabriel everywhere. And it's the fear of a goal. Points per match, Gabriel is right up there alongside Haaland. Yep. It is right up there. Absolutely. But if Haaland doubles later on in the season, like, I will want to triple captain Haaland if he doubles later on in the season. That's basically the reasoning. So at the moment, it's active, but if I knew with any sort of certainty or any sort of confidence that there would be another double later on in the season, then I probably wouldn't do it. So that's where my thinking is at. I will put a poll up in the chat now about whether other people are considering doing it. And I am also aware that I've not answered a single question or super chat 13 minutes into the stream. So we will do all of that in just a second. But captaincy poll, triple captain Gabriel, triple captain other, captain Gabriel, captain other. I do think Gabriel is better than Rice for those people asking. I do. I just think he's more consistent and that higher floor, as we say, is there. Due to his high floor and low ceiling, wouldn't just captaining him, not triple captaining, make sense? If he gets his expected points, you won't lose much rank at all. I mean, yeah, there is that, but he could keep 2 clean sheets, get DEFCON and bonus. Like, it is possible. He absolutely has the ability to do that. His floor is high, but his ceiling might not be a 30-pointer. I mean, it's possible, but he still has that range of points that he can get. Did you forget that Gabriel will get DEFCON against Brentford? I did see that stat from Tom Hadley that I think 1 out of the 2 centre-backs has got DEFCON in every single game against Brentford, apart from 1. So there is also that as well, that he might just get, like, if he came away from that Brentford game with a 4-pointer, would I take that? Probably, because then a clean sheet makes it a 10-pointer. Yeah. Triple captain is active. You can deactivate the triple captain though. He could also get injured and no press conference and be brought off early. I mean, all of these things. Not triple captaining someone because they could get injured is never going to be the way to play. I know he's got a game in the middle, but chances are Gabriel plays 0 minutes in that match in the middle. Start Dubravka or Verbruggen? Probably Verbruggen over Dubravka. Thiago or Wilson? I'd play Thiago over Wilson. -4 for James to Maguire or Verbruggen to Raya. Verbruggen to Raya is a much better transfer, and it gives you triple Arsenal. How confident are we that Timber starts both? I'd say very likely. I think if he was going to miss one, it would be the Sunderland game. So yes, I think he will. Would I bench Bruce, Dubravka, Tarkowski, Gay, Mane -4, or triple captain Gabriel, no hit? I wouldn't take a hit to bench boost with that, no. Bench 1 of Enzo, João Pedro, Vert, Rodgers, and Brobby. Definitely Brobby. There are some crazy difficult benching headaches going around at the moment. And yeah, I mean, I feel for some people. They've got effectively my team at the moment, but they've then got like João Pedro and Enzo instead of Dewsbury Hall, and like it's crazy, some of them. So yeah, it is quite difficult. Xhaka and Keane to Rodgers and Munoz. Xhaka and Michael Keane to Rodgers and Munoz, or just Xhaka to Mbermo. I do Xhaka and Keane to Rodgers and Munoz. Although we think Keane is going to start, Munoz is definitely better, and it's not guaranteed. And then by the time you get to 31, Keane might not be in the team, so I don't mind that. Buy Timber for Tarkowski and triple R's defense, or buy Rice for Ndai. I'd buy Timber for Tarkowski because from game week 27 onwards, Rice is a sell, but the defenders are not. So, yeah, I'd rather go triple defense now rather than going with Rice if you have the luxury of it. I wouldn't sell Rice to buy triple defense, to be honest, unless it's Gabriel. Like, if you want to sell Rice to Vert or Rice to Mbermo in order to do a defender to Gabriel, then maybe. But Your loan transfer, Matoma to Semenyo. Yeah, Matoma looks way off it at the moment. Yeah. You're buying Mbomo by selling Wilson, then getting him back for Enzo after 2 weeks. You have 3 frees. So I've spoken quite a lot about Harry Wilson over the past couple of days, and I don't really like selling him unless you've got that luxury. This is probably one of the few examples of when I would look to sell Harry Wilson. Like Harry Wilson to Mbomo, and then Enzo back to Wilson. It just depends how much value you've got tied up in Wilson. That's the only issue with that. But, yeah. Yeah, I quite like that move. But generally, I wouldn't be selling Harry Wilson because from game week 28, I think Harry Wilson is he's definitely top 5 mids you want to own. Yeah, triple captain, I say is active, but I still feel very 50-50 on the decision. I still feel very 50-50. To the point where I'd rather not have it active. And then if I decide to do it, I can then go and put it on him. Yeah. Yeah. Thoughts on Gyökeres? I'm surprised he's the most transferred in player this week. I'm really surprised at that. Basically, I'm really surprised he's the most transferred in player. I think he's a fine pick, but I don't think he's a very good long-term hold. I don't think he's guaranteed to start both. I don't think his attacking returns are that predictable. I'm so surprised that people are panicking about Gyökeres. Does Gyökeres even play both? I think the chances are that Gyökeres won't play both, really, will he? Transferred into last game week haul. I feel like he didn't even haul that much last week, did he? I feel like he got didn't he just get a 9-pointer? Oh, 12-pointer. Okay, he scored twice. Oh, it was 9 when I looked before bonus. Because he got 3 bonus. Fine. A 12-pointer. He scored twice off the bench. Fine. I can understand it. A little bit, because people like the points. Gyökeres plays both and rests in the cup. But the thing with the Arsenal players, for the ones who are slightly less rotation, more rotation prone, is you do have to think about the Spurs away game. If Gyökeres is going to be wanted for that. So yeah. My team is rough. Well, I hope not. I actually think it looks all right this week. If you think my team looks rough this week, you should look at what my team has looked like for the past 4 weeks. Because it's looked a lot worse than it does now. I can tell you that. I've been through the pain over the past 4 weeks. Those of you who have watched every week will know that this looks pretty good in comparison to how it's looked over the past few weeks. This definitely is better. This is definitely better. I've just got some Ribena. That's what I'm sipping on. Yeah, this definitely looks better than it has. Unfortunately, I keep leaving points on my bench, so Thiago is almost guaranteed to start based off what I've done over the past few weeks. Thoughts on bringing in Timber or Munoz for Chaël? Arsenal players are the top priority across every position for me. Yeah. Arsenal players are a top priority. Making sure you've got triple Arsenal is a top priority. I'd buy Zubimendi before I bought. If someone told me that they have one transfer and they're going to sell Tavernier, who's injured, and they can buy Tavernier this doesn't work because you could buy Rice. You could buy Zubimendi or Mbomo. I'd probably say buy Zubimendi just for the double, and then you can get rid of them. How much do I rate Rice triple captain? Right. So, if we look at Rice's returns, he's more explosive probably than Gabriel because he's got more those double digits and that 17-pointer. I just think Gabriel is slightly more reliable. I actually think predicting an Arsenal clean sheet is slightly easier than predicting Rice to get an attacking return. So I'd probably back Gabriel over Rice. I'd actually back Timber over Rice as well. I do think that people are overlooking Timber. How many times has Gabriel hit DEFCON? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times from 18. So he's hit DEFCON 1 in 3. Like, he might hit it against Brentford. It's no guarantee. It's not a guarantee. But like Gabriel's returns, right? 15, 9, 6, 8, 1, 8, 6. 1, 12, 9, 12, 9. I mean, he does occasionally sneak a bonus point as well. Your super chat deleted itself and you paid for it. The skeptic in me doesn't, but I'm going to answer the question anyway. 1 free transfer, Obi to Mane, and play Mane over Tar. I'll go for the double. I wouldn't bother with that. I don't think that's necessarily worth a transfer, no. Quite a few of asking questions about Crystal Palace. They're quite interesting, right? So I've got Richards, and I've held him for a long time, and now I'm like, oh, right, fine. He's got some good games before the blank. I think they are the best short-term punts out there at the moment, but they do blank most likely in game week 31. It's not 100% guaranteed that they're going to blank in 31, but it seems most likely that they will. But for 4 of the next 5, apart from United away, you'd be pretty happy to play them. So Burnley, Wolves, Leeds at home, and Spurs away. If you need a midfield forward punt, I probably wouldn't go for a forward punt now because sounds like Mateta is not going to have surgery. So it doesn't make Strand Larsen nailed for all of these games. But for the short term, Asara, Munoz, Lacroix, or Richards, I've got no issue with it. Please tell us about Calafiori. He is expected to start. It's just he'll probably only start one of Wolves and Spurs. We don't know which way round that's going to be. I would try and find money for Saliba if you can. When am I planning to triple captain? I then just have to hope that there is another week where there's a triple captaincy option. Just got to hope that there's another week where it happens. Like there's a double in 35 or 36, which is quite possible. You've just got to hope that it's worth playing a triple captain in it if you save it. And that is the slight issue and downside of it, that you might get a double and then it's not worth it. Like it might be, because if Liverpool were to double, so there's a chance that Liverpool were to double in 36 alongside the Palace at home fixture, which needs to come out of 34. But if Liverpool doubled at home to Chelsea and at home to Palace, I don't know if there's anyone there that's that great a triple captain option. Palace could then double in game week 36, and that would be Everton at home and either Liverpool or City away, which isn't great. You wouldn't want to triple captain that. Villa, I don't have any Villa players in my team to look. So that would be... So if Villa were to double later on, it would be Burnley away, Liverpool at home, potentially before an FA Cup final and then Europa League final. Or like Burnley at home in the at the weekend, Liverpool at home in the midweek, then a free weekend, and then Europa League final in the midweek. Like, that's all right, but are you going to triple captain Morgan Rogers? Like, really? Like, that's not better than Gabriel for me. I'm looking at something that's worth taking the risk on in order to save it. The only one that's really worth it is Haaland. And of course, they do have the cup final game to reschedule, which will probably go in 33. and then it's whether the Burnley game goes elsewhere. But the thing is, and people are asking, well, Haaland could double in 33. Also, you could have a double for Man United in 33. But 33 is likely to be the week where you want to either free hit or bench boost. You're unlikely to want to play your triple captain that week. And the other thing in 33 is it's the week that City play Arsenal. So that's not even that great. Like, if you want to triple captain Haaland at home to Arsenal, that's also quite brave. And for United, who are out of the FA Cup, to double in 33, they'd need Brentford to reach the FA Cup semi-finals as well. So there's a lot of if, buts and maybes. The only one that's really worth saving it for is Haaland. Forever Aguna, you looked at free hit 31, doesn't look good. You have 6 players blanking in it. On the way I could do Rise to Vert. So should I use my free hit or transfers? So I've spoken about this and mentioned it a little bit, but I know people have been wanting a chip strategy video, which I probably will do over this next week and a half once the FA Cup results are out of the way and we get a slight bit more information. But with the free hit, please try your best not to free hit 31. When you're planning your team for the advanced, you should be planning not to free hit in 31. Now, it might be that you wildcard 32 like a lot of us, but the reason that the free hit 31, in my opinion, is not a good idea is game week 33 will likely be a big blank, with game week 34 being game week 33 will be the big double, followed by 34 being the big blank for the same teams. So you will have a whole group of teams doubling 33 and then blanking 34. If you try and do those 2 game weeks without a free hit, you will not be able to maximize it, because if you try and go full in on the doublers for 33, you will then have no players available for you in 34. But if you then try and cover 34 and don't go all in on 33, then you're going to be massively behind everyone else who has a full 15 players of doublers or a full 11 players of doublers in game week 33 for the double, and then will free hit in game week 34. And actually, if you look at the teams with a good fixture in 34, which is the free hit week, Arsenal, Newcastle will likely blank. There's not that much of us with Bournemouth, and a lot of us will then free hit triple Bournemouth in if they play. But you don't want them in game week 33. Like, you'll be having to play Bournemouth players away at Newcastle before Leeds at home. City will probably blank. Chelsea might well blank. Elsewhere, like United at home to Brentford. Okay, like you'll probably have to have a triple up there. You might want a triple up on Brentford, but then they go away to United. It doesn't fall very well. So I know it's a long way away, but if you are planning your team, no free hit 31 for me is definitely the way to go, and save the free hit for either the double. So there's 2 ways of doing it, right? You either plan to have lots of players out in the blank in 34 and free hit the double to get a full 11 of the best doublers, or so there's 2 ways of doing it. You either free hit the blank and forget the blank and buy lots of players for the double, or you forget the double, you buy lots of players who play in the blank and have good fixtures afterwards and free hit in the double. So that's where we're at, and that's why I would not play the free hit in 31 if you can help it, and I will not be playing it. Categorically will not be playing it. CB, of course. Start one of Thiago Verts, Chalobah, Mane. I'm going to be bold, and I would start Mane. And I would find a player that, even if you're uncomfortable to bench them, I would play Mane this week. If I had Mane this week instead of Thiago, I'd bench Anderson, or I'd bench Dewsbury Hall, or I'd bench Ekitike. I would play the player with a double. I know the double's dreadful. I know it's Wolves, but the sort of 4-point floor is almost locked in. Why would I triple captain Gabriel if you only had 2 Arsenal and both defenders, or triple captain Palmer next week, or save for any other week if it's not the best chip to game rank? I'd still look at those things in isolation. I still think I'd probably go Gabriel, but like, this is a pretty decent point from Varon in the chat. Palmer at home to Burnley next week could easily outscore Gabriel. That's just, again, it's just the nature of an attacker versus a defender. When was the last time Gabriel got an attack in return? He hasn't had an attack in return since away at Bournemouth when he scored and got a 9-pointer. I don't know. Part of me just wants to get it out of the way and then I don't have to worry about it. Oh no, more people telling me I'm not blinking again. We know what happened last time someone told me this. I then start blinking too much. You said to me, okay, João Pedro, Vert, you must have another player in your team that you can bench over João Pedro versus Mane. There must be someone else. Would I do Verts to Mbermo? No, I wouldn't. Palmer could be rested against Burnley. I'd be shocked. We've got a free midweek before and a free midweek after. I'd be very surprised. You wildcarded 25, made a mistake not getting Munoz and Sarr. You have 2 free transfers. Should I do Verts and Anderson to them? You can manage 31 blank though. I personally wouldn't. I think Verts and Anderson are still good long-term picks. And if you've already wildcarded, you have to be careful with the transfers that you use. And selling Anderson to Munoz, it might be worth it and it may well pay off. But Anderson's got a pretty good run and helps cover the blank pretty well for you. Verts, similar. Like if you could do one of them, like Anderson up to Munoz, then maybe, but I wouldn't be doing both. You did Tarkowski to Hill and Barnes to João Pedro. I don't have an issue with that. Actually, with a lot of people looking for a way to free up money, if you want to sell Tarkowski to Hill to get some cash, I've got no problem with it. This is probably his last week in my team. Then from game week 27 onwards, I'll be looking for a defender. Bournemouth, Fulham, City. I'm looking at Brentford. Brighton at home, Burnley away. I will probably bench them in game week 29. So, I mean, I could go to Hill, West Ham away, Sunderland at home, Burnley away, United at home, Villa also a potential Leeds, Wolves, West Ham. I could go to Cash. Brentford are the one I'm looking at though. I'm looking at Collins, but Collins hasn't started both of the last 2. And I'm not sure we're going to learn anything this week because I think all 3 centre-backs might start in a back 5, in which case we will learn nothing. And we will be in no clearer situation about what to do. You missed your super chat. Best cheap explosive midfielder for the next 3. No Dewsbury Hall. I mean, Sarr if you can get up to him. And then it's probably Dango Ouattara. The issue is he plays Arsenal this week. The other one actually to look at is Ryan at Bournemouth. 22.86, Everton, West Ham, Sunderland, Brentford, Burnley, United. It probably is Ryan. 5.5. Or it's Dango Ouattara. It's just he plays Arsenal this week. From next week, it will be Dango. Brighton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds. So yeah, all of these are possible. All of these are possible. But Ryan and Dango if you're not going Dewsbury Hall. Sarr is a troll. I know I've been there earlier on in the season and he trolled me big time. So I'm not going back there. Is Senesi worth the 0.9 over Hill? Almost certainly not, no. The cup game at Macclesfield will give us an indicator of who he plays for Brentford. It will be Pinnock and on the other side of that game. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a couple of games for Brentford which could give us a bit of an indication about who's going to start in that position. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. You have 3 free transfers. Should you do Wilson to Rodgers Thiago to João Pedro, Keane to Hill. No, I wouldn't be selling Wilson or Thiago. From next week, Thiago is one of the best forwards up until wildcard. Brighton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds. I wouldn't be selling that. So, no, I wouldn't be selling Thiago now. I'm happy to bench him. And I also wouldn't be selling Harry Wilson unless it's to a midfielder that you really like. But even I wouldn't do Wilson to Mbeumo. I really don't think I would. Because for the next game, then yeah, you'd rather Mbeumo. But from game week 28 to 31, Wilson is the best value midfielder in the game alongside Dango Ouattara. One of these two will be in so many teams. I just don't think I'd be selling it. Yeah, I took the triple captaincy off, but I'm all over the place with it. I think I was going to say I think I probably will do it, but I don't want to say that and then it not be. FPL Trent, let me take a look. Who would you bench? I'd play Mane over Enzo. I'd play João Pedro over Enzo. People, so this is the attack for FPL Verts in the chat. He's got Rice, Rodgers, Enzo, Sarr, Bruno, João Pedro, Haaland, Mane. Who would you bench out of this 8? Rice, Rodgers, Enzo, Sarr, Bruno, João Pedro, Haaland, Mane. It's not going to be Rice. It's not Sarr. It's not Bruno. It's not Haaland. So Rodgers, Enzo, Sarr, Mane, João Pedro. You've got to bench one of them. I think I'd bench Enzo. Because you've got Chelsea in there already. I mean, maybe Mane is the sensible option, but I just think I'd bench Enzo. Enzo to Somerville and DCL to Pedro for a hit. Thoughts? No. Swapping Enzo to João Pedro for a hit is not a transfer I'd make. Would I start Dewsbury Hall or Richards? Dewsbury Hall smashed it last week, but it's Burnley at home for Richards. I probably would play Richards over. Actually, no, I'm not sure I would. Richards or Dewsbury Hall. I think I'd play Dewsbury Hall over Richards. Part of me wishes that Dewsbury Hall didn't hit a 13-pointer last week. He just feels unlikely that he's going to do it again. If anyone knows what I mean. It just feels like he's not going to hit a 13-pointer. That being said, I did look back and he did get 9, 13, 7, 3, 16 earlier on in the season. So he's a good pick. I literally have said this. And when I bought him, I literally said that he's just Rodgers for 2.5 million cheaper. And he literally is. Dewsbury Hall is Rodgers for 2.5 mil cheaper, basically. Rodgers' fixtures are better, which makes him a better pick. But Dewsbury Hall does exactly what Rodgers does for 2.5 mil less than him. Basically. His data is almost identical. Is it worth taking a -4 to transfer James to Maguire and Verbruggen to Raya if you already own Gabriel and Timber? I'd take a hit to get triple Arsenal if it's Raya. Yeah, I think Reece James probably starts, but there's no guarantee there. So yeah, I have no issue with that. I like Maguire. Is Maguire better than Hill for you though? Just check that for future weeks. You hear this while selling Dewsbury Hall for Rodgers. Listen, I don't actually have an issue with that transfer because Rodgers' fixtures are much better. Like, after this, next week, I think I've got a choice. Anderson has Liverpool at home or Dewsbury Hall has United at home. Now, didn't Dewsbury Hall score against United earlier on in the season? Yeah, he scored a 13-pointer. He did. He hit DEFCON and got a goal. Interesting. But I'll have that decision to make. But after this week, there's no week that I particularly love it, apart from in 19. I'll probably play him in 26, 29, 31, because I'll play him in the blank. But that's about it. So, as much as I like him, and he is a cheap Rodgers, the fixtures are not as good. I think Bournemouth at home this week is fine. But, yeah. You're playing the chip. What % am I a triple captain? I think I'm more likely to do it than not now, I would say. I took it off him just because I don't want to have it there and then keep taking it off him, and I'd rather just take it off him and put it back on. But, yeah, that's, yeah. Start Mark Gay or Maguire. If you've got Gay, I'd play him. No, I'm rolling my transfer. Only one transfer and just 0.6 million in the bank. Yeah, just one transfer and only 0.6. I don't really see anything I can do. The only thing I did consider was Tarkowski to Munoz. But I think I'll probably want the transfers over the next couple of weeks to change Rice and change Tarkowski. Because if I do that transfer, I then don't have money to do Rice to Wirtz, which is what I wanted to do. I can't even do Rice to... I think I could just about do Rice to Rodgers if I wanted to do that instead of going Wirtz. So, like, I could do Tarkowski to Munoz. But then I've got double Palace defense. That's about the only transfer that I've considered. And then Rice would have... I wouldn't be able to get Wirtz. I then do Rice to Rodgers. And then basically just carry this through. I mean, I don't mind Rodgers. Leeds at home, Wolves away, Chelsea, Man United, West Ham. Like, it's not a bad run. And Munoz is just a very good pick, right? I have really considered this transfer. Next week, I just play Gabriel, Richards, Munoz, all at home to Wolves. Gameweek 28. I play Anderson. I then probably have to play Munoz away at United, which is not ideal. And then I play Gabriel. But I suppose I could sell Richards in 28 to someone else. Or Dorgu. I have considered it. I just think rolling is slightly better for me. Because I might want Wirtz next week. Munoz is so good though. He's such a good pick. He's top of my differentials to buy this week. I just think if you have the luxury to do it, then you can. If I had more than one transfer, I probably would have given it more thought. What am I doing with my 3 Arsenal that blank in 31? Well, I'll just bench Raya for Dubravka. I'll keep Gabriel. I'll be selling Rice much before then. So it's only really Gabriel who I can just bench. Haaland who I just bench. And like, that's probably it. Richards can probably be benched as well. I'll probably bench Gabriel, Richards, Haaland. Play a 3-5-2. Yeah. There's over a 60% chance that City get a double game week. Yeah, but... So, I mean, if you do this from a maths point of view, right? Let's say City have a 60% chance of a double. In order to outweigh the risk, Haaland has to be 40% better in order to take that 40% risk, if that makes sense. And I don't know Haaland is that much better. Because if it's a double, I mean, Brentford at home, Palace at home is probably better. Like, he probably is that much better. But Brentford at home, Palace at home. But it could be Everton away. Like, it could go in 35 if they're not in Europe anymore. And then it's Palace at home, Everton away. And there's a chance that they don't double, right? They go out of Europe and they just don't need to double. Is that not how maths works? I feel like it is. I feel like that's a reasonable explanation. Maybe not. Maybe not. Which to start, Krippy, Hill or Anderson? I'd probably take the chance on Creepy versus Anderson. I probably would go with Anderson, to be honest. Is Tarkowski to Hill, then Verbruggen to Raya okay? Yeah, I've got no problem with that. Good logic. I think it's reasonable. But it's just trying to work out that percentage chance of a future double. I might still do it. Like, it might end up on Gabriel. Thiago, Krupi, Dewsbury Hall, Tarkowski, Wilson, Richards, bench 2. Well, Richards definitely starts. I'd play Krupi over Thiago, so Krupi definitely starts. Dewsbury Hall definitely starts. Tarkowski... I mean, I'd bench Tarkowski, Wilson if you can. And play Thiago, I think. Van Dijk or Dallo? Probably Dallo. Yeah, I know Dorgu's out. I'll just get Tarkowski off the bench like I did last week. And he didn't do anything. Although, was it Tarkowski that I benched last week? I can't even remember. Maybe I should swap it. I mean, I should bench Haaland, right? I should just bench Haaland. Thank you all for joining, by the way. We're almost an hour into the stream and I haven't plugged at all. So if you could drop a like and subscribe, that would be great. There are 5,000 of you in already who have not liked the stream. That would be great if you could. Thank you very much. You don't have Gabriel, captain Timber or Rice, or sell Timber to Gabriel for a hit. I think I just do Timber. Sanchez, Raya, Ekitike to João Pedro or Thiago. Probably not. For 2 transfers, probably not. Actually, I wouldn't mind the Sanchez to Raya. I don't think that's the end of the world. Ekitike out, though. I probably would go, if you're going to try and take that on, I'd do Ekitike to João Pedro and then to Thiago after Burnley. Oh. One sec. Haaland. So Dorgu to Hill and Guy to Mane for free. Probably not worth it. Like, just play who else your other player is. Sorry, Givens. Exciting stuff happening at the Harry stream over here. I do apologise. Don't worry, you're just as stuck as you are. The thing is, I think Brentford score, but then I wouldn't be that surprised if they didn't. And it ended like, 2-0 Arsenal. Are we really sure Gabriel plays both? Yes. Yes. Will Reece James start? Probably. Not guaranteed, but probably. He was ill, but yeah. Looking at previous weeks, he got 8 in back-to-back weeks was the lowest. So I've seen this, and I agree. But like, if he gets 8, 9, or 10, I'd take not captaining him. I think he has to get more than 10 for me to be wanting to triple captain him. If he doesn't get more than 10, then I'm not sure it's worth it. I'm not sure it's worth it. That's the thing. Like, I feel like he needs over 10. And What are the chances of that actually happening? Wolves are not that high up, but Brentford and Wolves are sort of both mid-table for goals conceded or chances conceded from corners. So it's pretty, like, it's not like, oh, definitely don't play them against them. But then, I mean, also the other thing to mention is Gabriel is much better at scoring from set pieces than all these other teams. So there's also that to consider, that Arsenal are better at it. And I mean, he didn't play Wolves or Brentford, so we can't even look if how we got on against them. Just the thought of triple captaining a defender makes me feel a bit sick. That's basically what it is. Like, from a predicted points point of view, I think it's absolutely fine, but just the thought of it makes me feel slightly ill. Haaland bangs a hat-trick against Fulham. It's more the Gabriel goal that scares me the most, to be honest. Ryan for Bournemouth is a very good midfield differential. I know Tom Dollamore is posting maths on Twitter. Yeah, I saw that. He's predicted to score just over 10 from his working out. Not having the money for Rice, you're going Zubimendi. To be honest, that's not actually the end of the world. Don't think. I mean, Rice takes set pieces, so he has that benefit, but I don't think it's the end of the world if you don't have the money. Hill or Richards in for Dorgu. I'd rather buy Hill because I think he's better for you long term. Richards is good, but he'll be an issue at some point. Rodgers and Burmo to Rice, or Anderson to Zubimendi, or triple defence with Gay to Timber. I do Gay to Timber and go triple defence. Keep Rodgers, keep Burmo, keep Anderson, I think. Matt, triple captain Gabriel or Rice or why? I just think Gabriel is the safest. He's also more explosive more of the time. His floor feels better. He's top or second for points per match so far this season, only with Haaland. Yeah. Jandre is asking, his wife is shouting from the kitchen. Ask him if he would start Raul or Anderson. I'd play Anderson over Jimenez, I think. I think I would go Jimenez. Raul on the bench. I'd start Anderson over Jimenez. Who to start, Mark Gay or Senesi? I would go Mark Gay at home. Mark Gay at home. Gyökeres triple cap. I don't hate it, but I'm not certain he starts both. What are the odds Gabby starts, as in Gabriel Jesus? Feels pretty 50-50 with Gyökeres. Maybe Gyökeres is slightly more likely based off what he did off the bench. I actually think Gyökeres maybe suits that role off the bench slightly better. Margay, Chalobah, Thiago, Krupi, Hill need to start two of them. I'd actually play Chalobah, Margay probably. Play about 4 or 5. Do I think Esteval starts? Probably, but yeah, no guarantee. Would I say if Haaland is not guaranteed to play both at the double, would a Semenyo or City midfielder be better than Gabriel? No. If Haaland wasn't guaranteed to play both in the double, then he's not better than Gabriel. I think Haaland playing both in a double is the only situation that's better than Gabriel. But you've also got to say that with the result at the weekend, that if City were to beat Arsenal at home, okay, big ask, the chances are the title race could go to the end of the season, because there are not many games in there, apart from that, maybe Chelsea away. But if they were to draw away at Chelsea and beat Arsenal at home, it doesn't make loads of difference, that we could get to game week 36 and the title not be over. So I do agree that the only situation that I think waiting on the triple captaincy is particularly better than just going now and having it now is Haaland, if he gets a double. If he gets a second double, yeah. If he gets a second double. He might not get a second double. That's the thing. He could just double 33 and then that's it. If they're not in the Champions League anymore. And they've got to reach an FA Cup semi-final, which is probably more likely than not, depending on how the draw goes. But there's quite a few rounds. I think they've got to play 4 matches more to reach the semi-finals, or is it 3 more? If it's 4 more, how many more rounds have we got? We've got the one. So you've got the final, the semi-final. So in order to reach that, you've got the quarters, the 5th round. So you've got to win 3 more to reach the semis. Is bench boost a good shout this week if you have all the chips? I mean, I'd be surprised. Most people have Dubravka who goes away to Palace, so I don't love the bench boost this week. Majed trying to lock in Malik Chow, Tarkowski and Cherky to Hill and Rodgers, or just Bijol to Hill and assess after that. I think Cherky will probably start. I think I would probably just assess after that and just do Bijol. Probably just do Bijol to Hill. But you really want Rodgers, so then it's fine. I don't have an issue with selling Cherky to Rodgers. Which 3 to start? Dewsbury Hall, Gay, Nunez, Senesi. I'd probably bench Senesi out of those. Can you sell Semenyo for Rodgers? I think that's quite sideways. I think if you want to do it after the Fulham game, then maybe, but I wouldn't do that this week. Isaiah, of course. Start, yeah, we just did. Start Harry Wilson or Hill. I probably would play Harry Wilson over Hill. 1 hour to go until the 6 p.m. deadline. If one doesn't triple today, Haaland and possibly Palmer are capable of 15 points returns in one game. True, but with Palmer, you've got to find a way to own Palmer. Like the majority of us... the majority of us don't have Palmer. You'd have to find a way to get him. I think I'm just slowly convincing myself to do it. Yeah. I think I'm just slowly convincing myself that it's probably the thing I'm going to end up doing. What do I think about adding Zubimendi as your third Arsenal? I don't mind it, actually. Like, if you can't afford all of the others and you've got Gabriel, then I don't mind Zubimendi. You don't think Ekitike is going to score without Szoboszlai? I mean, I think there's not expected to be loads of Liverpool goals in this game. So, like, if you had a benching decision and one of them was Ekitike, I actually don't think it's the worst idea to bench Ekitike. But, yeah, we're going to put it in subscriber-only mode as we are 1 hour to go. If you could drop a subscription on the channel if you haven't already to start using the chat. And if you've already done that and you want to support me a bit more, please do drop a like on the stream. We are 10 away from 1,000 likes. Who will be number 1,000? I won't be able to know, but I appreciate you nonetheless. Captain Timber or Haaland this week? Timber. It would always be a double game week player. I'd rather captain David Raya than Haaland this week. Would I do 2 transfers to do Timber to Gabriel? Probably not. I would just take the chance on Timber, although going without Gabriel is a pretty scary prospect this week. No. Giandre, you have 1 free transfer. Is Guiu to Krupi or Vandenberg to Senesi worth it to start either of them ahead of Harry Wilson? No, I would just play Harry Wilson, I think. No, Dorgu is not fit. He is out for months still. Start Wilson or Thiago? I'd play Thiago. I'd play Thiago. Any Mbermo updates? He was pictured travelling with the squad, so we're expecting Mbermo to be fine. Munoz or Richards? Munoz, if you can get the money, definitely is worth it over Richards, yeah. Start for Fafana or Van de Ven? Probably for Fafana and just hope he starts. Wilson or Krupi? I'd play Krupi over Wilson. Buy João Pedro or Ekitike for Bowen now? Probably Ekitike because I think he's better, and it's if you've got the spare transfer. If you don't think you can spare a transfer, then just go straight to Ekitike. Start Verbruggen or Dubravka. I would play Verbruggen over Dubravka. Upgrade Richards to Munoz. I'm not really sure that's worth a transfer, but no. So no, I probably wouldn't. Triple captain on Timber over Gabriel. Probably not. I still think Gabriel's the best option there. Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather Gabriel than Timber. 2 free transfers, Wilson to Rice or Watkins to Gyökeres, or both Wilson to Rice and Watkins to João Pedro. I mean, I don't love either of them. It sounds like you've got money in the bank. You have Raya and Gabriel. Can you not buy Timber or Saliba into your defence? I'd much rather that. I think you'll be looking to sell Watkins. I mean, the upcoming fixtures for him are great. Yeah, I'd honestly try and find somewhere else, even if it's buying Zubimendi. I wouldn't want to sell Wilson or Watkins right now, I don't think. Yeah, Richards will sub in for Dorgu, yeah. Yeah. Rice is on pens after Gyökeres. We don't know. He probably isn't. I haven't decided on triple captain, so those saying convince me not to do it, I haven't actually decided whether I'm going to do it or not. Ooh, my stomach is rumbling. I need to head off pretty quick after the end of the stream because I'm going to the Chelsea game tonight, as per usual, and I need to go and get something to eat. I think let's put it back on for now. On, off. Shake it all about. Is guaranteed that Saliba starts both? Probably. Bro, is that a free hit? No, it's just my... So I've had one person ask if my team's a free hit, which I think is a compliment. And another person tell me that my team is a mess. This is it. I feel like every week for like the past month, I have half the people telling me that my team is fine and the other half telling me that it's dreadful. Anyway, would I bring in Rice even with one transfer? I'd want triple Arsenal. So, yes, I wouldn't want to go into this week without triple Arsenal. You're going against the best team in the league with a double, including the team bottom of the league. So, yeah. Love my content. Really appreciate it. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Would I bench boost one? Well, who would I bench? Reece James or Krupi, though. If Reece James is good to start, I think. I probably would play Reece James. I don't know if Jump the Wave did. Predictions. Yes, so Calafiori is expected to start. Trossard is also expected to start. Watkins is expected to start. Reece James is low. Interesting. Reece James is on 25%. With the two highest Chelsea predictors predicting that he does start, but pretty much everyone else predicting he doesn't. That's a pretty tough one, that. Liverpool, think it will be Curtis Jones. Right back, City, Foden is at 17%, but Cherky is at 100. Those asking, O'Reilly is at 83%. Let me put this up on screen. It's probably better. Yeah, so that's the Arsenal one. And it basically gives you a percentage chance. Now, it is based off fans, but where did we get to? That's Chelsea. So Enzo 100, Neto 50, Estevao 83, Palmer 100, João Pedro 92, with one person predicting that Delap and João Pedro start together. Reece James is low there. What else do we leave? Newcastle, it's not really much there. Spurs, the same. Brighton as well. Cool. Can I do an Are You Triple Captaining poll? There is a poll active at the moment with 55% on Triple Captain Gabriel, 32% on just Captain Gabriel. Give you an exact percentage on Triple Captaincy. I'd say I'm higher now. I'd say it's over 50% now. Yeah. Someone's saying that the site is being really slow. Seems all right for me. Seems fine. Said all week you weren't triple captaining, and then I caved last minute. I've never been particularly convinced either way, and I don't really feel particularly convinced either way even now. Ndai, best replacements, Verts or Rodgers. I mean, I've got no issue with keeping Ndai this week, but if I wanted to buy one, probably buy Rodgers first, with the next two being quite difficult. Bench one of Watkins, Dewsbury Hall or Tarkowski. Definitely Tarkowski. I'd play both attackers. Any suggestion on Bruno Fernandes? I mean, he's a great pick. I don't think he's a captaincy option this week because there's a double, but yeah, apart from that, yeah. Bring in Raya for Verbruggen or sell Thiago or Wilson. I bring in Raya for Verbruggen as a transfer I did last week. So yes. Timber and Rice and Munoz or Timber, Gabriel, Enzo. Timber, Rice, Munoz or Timber, Gabriel, Enzo. Timber, Gabriel, Enzo. Prefer the Gabriel route. Any route with Gabriel is probably going to be the one I prefer. I wouldn't want to go without Gabriel. Yeah, triple captain is going to be very popular. It is very popular. Yeah, there are a lot of people doing it this week. Sell Enzo for Sarr as a punt. I probably wouldn't sell Enzo before Leeds at home, Burnley at home, no. Palmer or Sarr? I mean, I'd rather Palmer than Sarr. It depends what you can do with the 4 million difference between the two of them, but I'd rather Palmer than Sarr, yeah. You think you're saving the triple captain and hopefully play it on an attacker later. I've got no issue with that. No problems with people wanting to save it. Needs to be a bit different. 300k. Would I triple captain Rice or save the chip? I'd rather save the chip than triple captain Rice. Why is everyone benching Thiago? There are just a lot of very good fixtures this week. I mean, I am putting all my eggs in one basket that Thiago doesn't score, because I've also got double arse defense with also triple captain currently active on Gabriel. So could do with Arsenal keeping a clean sheet away at Brentford. Gabriel is guaranteed above 10 points. I don't think that's the case. I think he's guaranteed probably. I mean, he might keep no clean sheets in the end, right? But I think, yeah, I think he'll probably keep one against Wolves. Watch Timber score? Absolutely. I'm surprised there are less people with the Gabriel-Timber combination not considering Timber. I would still have it on Gabriel as a disclaimer if I owned both. But, yeah, Gabriel versus Timber, I don't think there's actually that much in it. Arsenal defense, I expect to be above 300%. Last week, it was about 170, I think. And this week, it's got basically 100% captain on top of that, 270, plus a little bit of triple captain, plus a few transfers in. I would expect it to be above 300. So, but I don't think it'll be that much. Like, I think it'll be like 320, which means you're taking on a 20% owned player, which is not the biggest issue. Krupi or Thiago, you didn't get a reply. I probably would go Krupi over Thiago, and I'd take the chance on it. Have I watched the Winter Olympics? I've watched some of it. We just seem to be finishing fourth in everything. I feel like I've watched like 5 things and we finish fourth in all of them, and we keep missing out. But yes, I have watched a bit. Can't stay here and see the auto sub session. Don't like the fact that I start Dorgu. I do apologize. It's just a little bit of fun. Would I triple captain Gabriel even if you triple Arsenal defense? Yes, I probably would. Yeah. Ismail Assar in place of Casemiro. Is it worth a transfer? Sarr for Casemiro. Yeah, like I think Sarr's a great punt. I think the short-term punts on Palace, I'm very jealous of it. I could do Tarkowski to Munoz, and maybe that's a big enough upgrade, but I don't think I'm not gonna make that this week because I plan on downgrading Tarkowski to free up money for a bigger Rice upgrade. So as much as I would rather Munoz than Tarkowski this week, I think rolling my transfer is better for me. You only have one transfer and you have 2 Arsenal players. Should I bring another Arsenal to the team for this double? Yes. If you don't have 3 Arsenal, I would be prioritizing buying another Arsenal player as the last one for the double. Yeah. A third Arsenal is more important than pretty much anyone else this week. They are top to buy across every single position for me. Talk United defense. I think I'd go Harry Maguire still over Dalot. I think Dalot's looked pretty good. He got a big haul last week, but I think I would still go Maguire over Dalot. Maguire has that 15-point potential in him. Here's the question. Are Manchester United going to win their 5th game in a row? 470 days of not cutting my hair until Manchester United win 5 games in a row. Is it going to be tonight? That is the question. Is it going to happen? Your advice, do triple captain Gabriel. It's not about points, but the psychological factor. Let's say if they don't do this and Gabriel bags, then they would be annoyed until game week 36, and that's not even guaranteed double. But if it doesn't do well, you have the excitement of continuing to wait until a potential double. The psychological aspect of it works in the opposite direction of whichever way you could go. Hope you're doing well. You're ranked 56k at the moment. Should I do Wilson to Mbermo or roll? I don't think I'd want to be selling Wilson. Would I rather Mbermo this week than Wilson? Definitely. But would I be selling Wilson? I just don't think I would. I don't think I would. I think he's still a good pick after this week. Or even this week, like City are conceding goals. What's my plan for the blank game week when you have 5 or 6 blanking? So Rice will go and Dorgu will go. And that will probably be it. Because Raya I can bench. I'll probably bench Haaland, Gabriel, Richards. I'll sell Rice. I'll sell Dorgu. So I'm actually only 2 transfers away from a team in 31. Would I do Nunez or Hill? I'd play Nunez over Hill, I think. Femiso. Unhappy with your team as you have Miley as your 8th attacker, KDH as the 7th, Ender as 6th. Play Thiago or do Miley to Sarr. I quite like Miley to Sarr. I think it's good over the next few, yeah. Talk Chelsea defence. I think if you've got them, I would play them. I do think we've leaked goals. I've always said that I would invest in the Chelsea attack before investing in the Chelsea defence, and that's been right. But I do expect at least one clean sheet in the 2 home games. Chelsea are much better at home than they are away from home defensively. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea kept a clean sheet tonight, and I also wouldn't be surprised if they kept a clean sheet against Burnley next week. So I think the Chelsea defence is great if you've got them, but I don't think now is the time to be buying them. Senesi to Munoz this week. I wouldn't want to sell Senesi, really. I think the long-term fixtures are pretty good. So, I mean, no, probably not. Non-Arsenal question. Mark Gay or Chalobah in a back 3 this week? I probably would play Chalobah over Mark Gay. Chalobah to Munoz, probably not worth it with the next 2 being so good. It's ironic that you do benching rankings every week, yet your bench is full of points. I completely understand the irony that I haven't made a good benching decision in what feels like a while, which feels like it's destined for Thiago to score this week. What's a good end of year rank goal for someone 350k? I think you could definitely be aiming comfortably for top 100k. So anything top 100k. And then if you get to that point, then you push on to 50, etc. Harry, never triple captain a defender. But I just feel like Gabriel is a different type of defender, right? It's just the uncertainty of the future weeks. If we knew that there was a Haaland double later on, then no one would be playing it. I've actually triple captained early quite a lot over the past few years. Did Salah last year. I did Rashford a few years before that. So I have had, a couple of early triple captaincies, or not early enough, I suppose. Just when we're sat there on Thursday evening with a Brentford goal and a Gabriel 2-pointer. The belief that you must play a bench boost in a double, even though the player's bench boosted will play only once. I mean, to be honest, most of the time we have 15 doublers when we play it. But it is true. But it is true. Let's check. Home, goal, home. They failed to score at home to City. Scored at home there, at home there, at home there, at home there, home. Triple captain 33. So the issue with that is that's the week that most of us will probably bench boost. He does attack as well. But yeah, that's why 33 doesn't work. But yeah, they have been good at home, Brentford. I mean, Gabriel could score, right? That's the thing. Anyway, let's do some other questions for a bit. If not now, then when triple captain, you just hope that there's a double in either game week 35 or game week 36. Semenyo to Mbeumo worth a hit? No, I wouldn't be selling Semenyo, I don't think. Best Enzo replacements for a free transfer. I definitely keep Enzo for the next 2. And then look at Dango Atara or Harry Wilson after that Wolves struggle against centre mids. You feel Rice will do something. Let's hope he does. His ownership is going to be pretty high, though. Chance of a Gabriel 60-pointer. Doesn't feel that high. Yeah. Enzo to Dewsbury Hall, Rolfs to Raya for a hit. Enzo to Dewsbury Hall, Rolfs to Raya for a hit. Enzo out, even to Raya, I don't think it's worth a hit. I don't think. Enzo to Dewsbury Hall, Rolfs to Raya for a hit. Surely there's another way. Enzo, there must be another way to free up the money. So probably not. Why am I keeping Dorgu? I just don't need him for the next couple of weeks, and then I will deal with it. And then I'll deal with it. I probably will keep him until game week 29. I don't actually need a defender in my team until that point. Just bench Gabriel. Any leaks on the Chelsea lineup? Not that I've seen, no. I expect it to be a pretty full-strength Chelsea team. One of my friends has just texted me that said they're standing in the queue for the pharmacy and someone else in the queue is watching the stream. So if that's you watching the stream in the queue for the pharmacy, I hope you are all right. Why is triple captain Rice a worse choice? He's just, the attacking returns for Rice are really difficult to predict, and the Arsenal clean sheets feel easier to predict than that. Konza, Tarkowski, Senesi start 1. Konza, Tarkowski, Senesi start 1. Probably Senesi, because Tarkowski's DEFCON has not been that great. Is it okay to do Rice and Richards out for Wirtz and Hill, but next week? Yeah, next week, that's fine. But I wouldn't be selling Rice, of course, before the double. I'm trying to answer questions, but all I can think about is my triple captain. Start Reinders or Thiago. Reinders or Thiago? Probably Thiago. Probably. My opinion on Trossard, probably not worth the risk because he is a doubt. Would I swap Enzo to Palmer for free? I probably wouldn't. I'm not sure it's a good use of a transfer or having the money invested there. Harry, yeah, start 2 of Gay, Cash, Hill, Thiago, Wilson. Gay would definitely start. Cash would start. I'll probably play Mark Gay and Cash. I think Mark Gay is a pretty good option this week. I know I've said don't sell Wilson, but City at home, and he's been pretty good as well. My deadline timer is 1 minute ahead. It always is, so that no one misses the deadline. Yeah, so no one misses the deadline, so that everyone sees it count down and then goes to check their team. And also there's a 30-second or like a 20-second delay on the stream. So if I set the timer as the deadline, when it ran out, the deadline would have already have passed. So I move it a minute forward. Triple captain Gyökeres, I don't actually hate it. I'm not certain he's going to start both of the games though. But if you were looking for a punt, I'd rather it than some of the others. But I'm probably more inclined to save it than play it on Gyökeres. Would I punt on Strand Larsen? The only issue with Strand Larsen is Mateta is not having surgery, so he could be back in the squad as soon as this midweek. So it's probably not worth the risk. But he sounds like he's going to be out for the next 2, actually. He might be back after the Cup. So it's fine for a short-term option, but I'm not sure I'd probably go there now. Start 2 from Thiago, Senesi, Tarkowski, Lacroix. Thiago, Senesi, Tarkowski. Well, Lacroix definitely starts. And then probably Senesi. Triple captain is active for those asking in the chat. I just need to think about it and not leave it to the last minute. Start 2 and why? DCL, Thiago, Konsa, and Cherky. Cherky definitely. Probably Thiago over DCL. Right. It just doesn't really sit well with me. Trossard to Saar, Madueke, or hold. I probably would just hold and hope Trossard's all right. Just doesn't feel particularly sit comfortably with me. I just don't love the triple captaining a defender. I mean, it's active at the moment. You're tempted to triple captain Gabriel. Only issue is in the last 7 games, his DEFCON over 10 is only 2 times. And I'm sure Arsenal will concede at least a goal. So 1 clean sheet and no DEFCON. I mean, if he gets 1 clean sheet and no DEFCON and he scores 8 points, it's fine, but I probably would rather save it. Yeah, I probably would rather save it. I mean, who do players like Haaland have on in 38? If you just got to that point, I mean, you'd probably play it in the double if it happens. Villa at home. -4 stack to Dewsbury Hall. Just to bench Thiago or Mukiele. -4 for stack to Dewsbury Hall. Probably not worth it for that just one transfer. No. 8 to 13 points is the Gabriel score, which I don't know if I feel like is enough. Just an attack. Like, if Haaland's going to double, he's definitely better. But I understand that the chance of a Haaland double is not 100%. Like, they have to get through a couple of very difficult Champions League games if they are going to necessarily double later on in the season. And they've got to stay in the FA Cup, which is probably going to happen. But the 37 fixture, if they're in the FA Cup, will likely just go to the midweek of 37. Unless their opponent is also someone like a Villa, in which case it might come forward. Does no, the first Arsenal City will double in 33 almost guaranteed, but it includes Arsenal and will probably bench boost that week. So it's around if they get a double in 35 or 36. It could be Everton away, Burnley away in 35. It could be Brentford at home, Palace at home in 36. Yeah, if the league is gone by then, will Haaland even play both? I just... You've always played FPL boring, and triple captain a defender is not that. I think it's the other way around. I think waiting is more exciting. I think playing it now is the boring play. Given City won versus Liverpool, surely they fight it out till the end. Well, this is the thing with City, is I don't see many games where I expect them to drop loads of points. Like Chelsea away, Arsenal at home. Like if they are to beat Arsenal at home in 33, then it is likely to go pretty close to the end. Title race is going all the way, but they also just might not double. It just doesn't sit right with me. My gut is telling me not to do it. My gut is definitely telling me not to do it. Start Pope or Dubravka? Probably Pope. Yeah, you can activate and deactivate the triple captain as much as you want. I feel like I've got to follow my gut in this. I know everyone is on it as well, but that shouldn't, like, I mean, it does impact thinking. It does, but it shouldn't. Oh, apologies, there's not much words coming at the moment, but Adrian, not the time. You agree? I mean, so how bad will it hurt if he does do well? So the ownership of Arsenal defence is going to be, I'd say, 330%. So I'm basically playing against a 30% owned Gabriel with a double, which isn't great. But you have to look at it. Like, you have to look at it for the triple captain, right? You have to look at it for Gabriel versus your triple captain when you go to play it. And if there might not be a Haaland double, but an attacker, it's meant to be fun. Oh, I can't decide. He could keep clean sheets against both. They'll probably have a lot of corners in both games. How many corners did they have against them when they played? I mean, I'm checking corners. Like, what is going on? How good have I done this season going against the crowd? I don't think it's particularly worked out going against the crowd. Right, here we are. Against Brentford, Arsenal had 8 corners. Oh no, that was against Wolves. And against Brentford, which was... I don't even know when they played them. I'm very lost. I'm very lost. I thought it was right around when they played Wolves, but I can't see it anywhere. One sec. If I can't find it, then I'll just leave it. If it's not on this page, then it's not going to be anywhere. Arsenal won 3-1. And they only had 3 corners in the whole game. Interesting. Would I do Cunha to Rice for a -4? Probably not. Probably not. Would I be annoyed if Dorgu comes on for 10 minutes and gets a 1-pointer? Yes, but if the fact that he's out for months... I'd be very surprised. It was 2-0 at the Emirates. Oh, I found the wrong game. Yeah, so... Oh, I've got it. Here we go. 4. Why so serial? Let me take a look. I do apologise. Did mess up by getting Timber and Rice last week. You have Gabriel, Timber, Rice, team, Verbruggen, Tarkowski. No. I think Timber, Rice, Gabriel is probably the best 3 Arsenal. Sell Bowen to João Pedro or some other forward up to 7.5. I think I'd keep Bowen and then do Bowen to Thiago next week if you don't own him. Triple captain 26, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free at 34. Yeah, that's the popular strategy for pretty much everyone. Brentford away, decided by set pieces 100%. Potentially. Any chances of Esteval starting? It feels pretty 50-50. I think he was about 50% on the predictions. Triple captain Palmer this week. I wouldn't do that. I'd rather save it. Your 5k OR and we'll be using triple captain later. Interesting. I'll regret not triple captaining. The chat, there's everyone. Every opinion is in there. Guiu and Anderson to João Pedro and Munoz and leave 0.7 in the bank for Harry Wilson and Anderson to Palmer and Lacroix. Guiu and Anderson to João Pedro and Munoz. I'd rather do that than trying to squeeze Palmer in. You're going to switch from Tarkowski and Pickford to Petrovic and Hill. Do I do it this week or for free? Sorry, if you're going to do Tarkowski and Pickford to Petrovic and Hill, do I do it this week for free? Everton clean sheet, better chances. You could back one and do like Pickford to Petrovic and have one of each, but I would rather just keep them, I think. There might not be another double. Yeah, that is true. Oh. Would I take a -4 to get Rice in place of a non-Arsenal player potentially? I mean, he does have some huge hauls in him, Gabriel. Like a defender goal and... like he's had it like 13, 12. Like this would be huge, right? Like away at Newcastle, we probably didn't expect that much from him. They didn't keep a clean sheet there, right? No, but he scores goals. That's the thing. Can I explain why you're starting Dorgu assuming he doesn't play? Oh, you just get the auto sub for Tarkowski at the end of the week. Your rank on the FPL app will be lower than it actually is because you'll just get the auto sub. I honestly feel so conflicted by it. My gut is telling me not to do it, but I don't want to get it wrong. So then I feel like maybe I should just do it. 22, Marco. Chalobah to Timber or Donnarumma to Raya. Probably Chalobah to Timber because Chalobah's a more quick sell than maybe Donnarumma is. Why are you worrying? I've still got all my chips left to play. You think the Liverpool double could catch your eye if it happened? What, in 37? I mean, 36 of Chelsea at home, Villa away is not particularly great. Triple captain Ekitike. No way Haaland starts both around double game week 36. I mean, if they're still chasing the league, he starts them all, right? Bowen or Wilson, Bowen over Wilson. Imagine a clean sheet and a goal in both games. Some madness points. I mean, it's possible, right? Just that risk that it doesn't happen for Haaland. They don't get that double late on. Because I don't think the others are particularly better. Like, yeah. Kelleher versus Dubravka, probably Kelleher. Triple Rice, I'd rather Gabriel. Worth buying João Pedro now? Yeah, I've got no issue with João Pedro for 2 weeks and then move him on to Thiago after that. I know people in the chat are saying that I do this on purpose. I promise you, I actually don't know. My gut is telling me, but then I look at the fixtures and I see it's Brentford and it's Wolves. Both are away. If Brentford was at home, I would definitely be doing it. But are Arsenal actually that different away from home versus at home? Brentford are definitely better at home than they are away from home. Ooh. Brentford just smashed Newcastle. They will score. Yeah, but Gabriel like has the ability for a goal, and look at the stress. Look at the stress. Dear. Leaked script. Gabriel scores a hat-trick. It will hurt your rank if you don't triple captain Gabriel, yeah. I don't think there's any leaks now. I don't think there's anything. I haven't checked, but let me have a look. No team news. No team news on anything. Those looking for Chelsea. I expect João Pedro, Enzo, Palmer to start. Reece James, less predictable. To get Raya, you need to sell... To get Raya, you need to sell Sanchez and do one of these two options. Senesi to Hill or Wilson to Dewsbury Hall. I'd rather do Senesi to Hill. There's not much in that. Right. I appreciate all the questions and all the super chat, but we have 8 minutes to go to the deadline and I need to make this decision. So I'm just going to have a bit of a think about it because, yeah. My gut is still telling me that it's not the right idea, but if I see that Gabriel goal notification, I will be officially and eternally pained by it. No triple captain, everyone is doing it. I mean, that shouldn't... I mean, it does impact a decision, but... Just that Haaland double is so appealing, but if you get there and you season's almost over by then. I look stressed. That's because I am stressed. I promise you, the stress is real. Oh. Oh. Well, Wolves are the worst side in the Prem. They are, but I don't want to triple captain Gabriel just to get a clean sheet against Wolves. What if Haaland gets injured? Then maybe I think about doing something else. Just do it. It doesn't make a huge difference anyway. People say like, oh, I can't tell whether some of the comments are pro it or against it. Like, be brave. I'm like, is that triple captaining him or not? Maybe they do keep a clean sheet against Brentford, and maybe everyone's like, oh, Brentford's. I love it. Do it, do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it. I think it probably, as you say, it probably is the sensible thing to do with the unpredictability of that City double. Right. If you don't triple captain, when else is there? 35 or 36 might be a double. If you've already used your bench boost, I think I would save it. If I'd already played the bench boost. City don't look that good. I mean, I think Haaland's been pretty good. Take on Wilson to Rodgers. I don't think I'd want to sell Wilson with the upcoming fixtures they've got. Motivation and will City go that far are big factors. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to do it. I just think if that City double was there, I wouldn't do it. But I think there's so much uncertainty, and if it's not Gabriel and it's not Haaland, then I don't like the others enough. Like, it could well be that City double 33 and that's it, and it might be Liverpool, it might be Villa. Neither of those I like. It might be City, yes, but we might also have a City without the Premier League to play for. It's possible, right? If Arsenal lose to, if City lose to last Arsenal, then yeah. Would I do Timber if I had him? No, I would still do Gabriel. Gabriel's the only one I'd consider, I think. Yeah, lack of certainty of other options, I think, is probably right. The other one has that lure of excitement. It definitely does. That save it. Haaland gets a double in 36. They're chasing the league. Brentford at home, Palace at home. And it looks great. But yeah, there's no guarantee that happens. And it would be right before an FA Cup final potentially as well. So, I mean, if they're still in the league, they wouldn't rotate anyway. But Gabriel's EO will be above 200%, yeah. Start Hincapié or Anderson. If you've got anyone with a double, even if you don't think they're going to start both, I would start all of your Arsenal players. Worst case scenario is you can triple captain Haaland against Burnley. You can't, because that falls in a week that will probably play our free hit or our bench boost. So you can't triple captain Haaland in that single. Why save it if if you don't have the bench boost? If you don't have the bench boost, then you can probably triple captain 33. Yeah, there's just too much uncertainty of it. Oh, I don't particularly love it, but yeah. Yep. Let's just check it is active. And let's just hope that Brentford don't score, shall we? Basically. My triple captain did pretty well. I had Salah last year and I had Haaland first half of this season. 4-pointer incoming. It's possible, right? It is the worst of the chips, though. Have some hope. Have faith. I'm doing it. I'm not changing it now. I mean, we're saying that it's uncertainty, but we all know that City are going to get through. They might, but in game week 36, if they double, like, you just have 3 of them instead for their double, and you go all out on the attack. Matt, you're dead ending into 31. Should I do Tarkowski to Munoz if you bench Rodgers? No. Definitely wouldn't do that. Definitely wouldn't be doing a transfer to bench Rodgers. Gabriel, triple cap. I don't love it, but I've just got to hope I'm wrong on the Brentford game. Because I don't think it's clear. Like, I think they'll probably only score one. And yeah, and that will be the deadline. You've got just a few seconds. And yeah, go and check your teams. Go and lock it in. Gabriel, triple captain. Richards, Raya, and Burmo, Bruno, Anderson, Rice, Dewsbury Hall, Haaland, and Ekatike. That is my team for this week. Please go and check your teams. That is double game week 26 in the bag in just a minute. Triple captain played. And yeah, the game will be about to update. And on that note, I have to run because Chelsea are playing at home and I've got to get across London to the game. We are going to leave it there once it goes to update. There we go. We're going to leave it there. Oh, dear. We're going to wrap it up there. If you are heading off, please do drop a like and subscribe. I know that the likes of Ross and Oscar will be staying streaming for another 20, 30 minutes. If you want to chat to someone, I'm going to head off though because Chelsea are playing. Good luck this week. Let's hope that Gabriel doesn't blank in both games. If he gets a clean sheet in either game, that will probably be all right, and I'll take that. Anyway, thank you all very much. Have a lovely one. Enjoy the weekend as well, which is FA Cup, and I will catch you all very soon.